Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. So before I begin, I just want to let you know if you hear breathing or coughing, my little one is pretty close to me right now as I record this. All right, so Earth is a hostel. It is supposed to be low cost, short term, shared, sociable lodging where guests can rent a bed temporarily. Your bed is your life. We are all living in a 3-story hostel. We have the attic, the top level. We have the main floor of the hostel, which is the middle level, and then the basement, the lower level. The levels of the hostel represent the 3 different places where you can rent your bed. You can only rent a bed with energy. Energy is the currency for this hostel. So your proof of currency is your human body. If you have a body, then you can rent a bed in the hostel. The levels of the hostel are not open to all human bodies equally. The energy that your human body carries determines the floor of the hostel that you can rent a bed on, right? And so the basement of the hostel offers beds to the human bodies that are carrying the currency of persecution and judgment. The main floor of the hostel offers beds to the human bodies that are carrying the currency of karma. The attic of the hospital offers beds to the human bodies that are carrying the currency of alignment. Now, here are the rules for the hostel. The guest buzzer. Everybody renting a bed must carry a buzzer. Think restaurant buzzer, restaurant pager, or guest call system. Each guest buzzer must be placed on the charger by midnight. If the charger is not registering your buzzer by 12:05 a.m., your personal silent alarm gets triggered. The levels of the house. If you're carrying a green buzzer, that indicates that you rent a room in the attic, okay? If you have a green buzzer, you have an energetic currency to access all 3 levels of the hostel. The yellow buzzer. If you rent a room on the main floor, you have a yellow buzzer, which means that you have a energetic currency for chores only in the attic, and you have full access to the basement. Red buzzer. If you rent a room in the basement, you have a red buzzer. You have an energetic clearance to the main floor, but for chores only. So the vibes of these 3 levels, the basement vibe is more leisure. There is no grace. There is no guilt. Do what thou wilt. These are for those that are still learning impulse control, right? They're still trying to conquer their flesh. They are very carnal. They're attempting to rid themselves of all the things that have really whacked their nervous systems, okay? Now, the main floor, remember, this is the karmic path. This is for those that are still learning who they are and who they are not. Finally, the attic. This is for those remembering how to exist in their truest form. If you ever want a bed on a higher plane, you have to get there by doing chores. Chores are the routine hostile tasks that are aligned with your purpose. And so chores provide hostile renters with responsibility, self-discipline, cognitive abilities, motor skills, and social awareness. The time spent doing chores promotes you to renting a bed on either the main floor or attic. If that's true, then you can also be denied a bed on the previous floor because you've neglected your chores somehow. When you neglect your chores, the currency of your energy changes, which also shifts the level of the hostel that you may be able to rent a room on, a bed on. Nobody but the owner of the house knows when your chores are sufficient to have given you access to rent a bed on a higher level. Lastly, no chores among renters are the same. All chore lists are individualized. Let's begin the reading. We begin with the energy of prophetic dreams and an earth angel. So this reading, I'm speaking to an earth angel that at some point had a collection of prophetic dreams. These are when we see events and images and symbols, but they predict something. They inspire us. They reveal something to us. In short, they give us clarity, guidance, but there's a certainty that they provide. But what you do know about that dream is that it is truly a gift from God, okay? Now, in a dream, an earth angel at some point recognized that they needed to be prepared for something. Something was being arranged. Maybe they didn't know what it was, but they understood that preparation comes with you accepting the assignment, right? So what does it mean to be an earth angel? What does it mean to be tempered, right? It means that you have already claimed your place in this world. You are in the process of asserting yourself. You've discovered your true self, and now you will do anything to overcome any obstacle that stops you from expressing that true self, right? So the earth angel, at some point, you've answered a call to action, right? But this is a call based on who you are. It has nothing to do with anybody else. So a series of prophetic dreams that could have spanned over months, weeks, years, right? This has kind of prepared you and pushed you to become who it is you were sent here to become. So whether you knew it or not, you were always supposed to live in the attic. You could have been born in the basement. You could have been born on the main floor. But your life here in the hostel, it was always supposed to offer you a promotion to the attic. Now, because you're in a hostel, you're going to cross paths with other people. Now, at some point, there was a courtship that this earth angel was involved in. This courtship doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. This could just be a friend, get together, some type of connection. Let's consider this to be something that was a meeting of all kinds. So this could be business, pleasure, doesn't matter. There was a union that an earth angel was involved in. The person risked too much. They gambled, right? They did something excessively, and the consequences are dangerous. But it's not dangerous for the earth angel. It's dangerous for the goofy gambler. Now, one of the things that is really sticking out in this reading is gender. Gender is in everything, right? This is one of the universal principles, right? Masculine is a principle. Feminine is a principle. They manifest on all planes. So the fact that this came up makes me feel like whoever you are, however you identify, the way the gift of God moves in you, it triggered somebody that was opposite you, maybe because of gender. They were opposite you, but they had an issue with the fact that maybe you could hold that power or you could hold that strength. Almost like, why did God put that in you and not put that in me? Right? So gender, this is duality. This is two opposite sides. So something about this person is opposite. I just want to make this known. If you identify as a masculine male, you spiritually may know that you are carrying the essence and the energy of the divine feminine. So it could have been a situation like that, where maybe you are a masculine, but you are carrying the divine feminine, or you are a feminine carrying the divine masculine. Something about that triggered or caused an issue or put this union or this friendship into shaky ground because it pushed somebody to want to take a gamble on you. And so maybe they didn't understand why you got to carry what you carried, why you were chosen, why, how come you got the assignment? How come you got the call? Why did you answer it? And so this person at some point realizes that this is a friendship, but it doesn't feel balanced to them. It doesn't feel just. It doesn't feel equal. Right? Because you clearly have more, not because you are more, but because you answered the call. And you can only answer the call when you're in the attic, right? And so let's imagine that you have rented a room or a bed in the attic, but you have the ability to go all over the house. And so as a social butterfly, you hang out on the main floor, people in karma, no problem, right? You go to the basement, people that can't really conquer their flesh. You go wherever you go, and it is a part of your call. Your call requires you to be on the main floor. Your call requires you to be in the basement, but your call also told you to be prepared, to be ready, right? Specifically in partnerships and connections. So here's the thing about the Earth Angel. You can hang out in karmic land, and you can hang out in the land of judgment and persecution. It doesn't necessarily change your energy. Now, the amount of time that you stay in a realm or in an energetic field or in an environment that is unlike yours, the amount of time that you stay in a place like that determines how your energy changes and when it changes, and also the rate at which it changes. Right? But you are still very much an Earth Angel. But remember, at midnight, you got to get back to your floor and put that buzzer, right? And so listen, yeah, you can go around and be other places, but your call, you have an assignment. You still have a location on this earth. You have a space that you are holding up. You came here to claim your space. And so once you answer this call, your buzzer needs to be back on the charger at midnight, because work will happen the next day. So I want you to imagine that in this reading, we had a couple of cat burglars. We'll call them kitten burglars, because they weren't ever really able to get what it is that they thought they could conquer or achieve with you or from you. So this is like a whole bunch of kitten burglars who get high on catnip and come up with a plan. And their plan is to use this Earth Angel as a way to get access to the main floor, or as a way to get access to the attic, right? High on catnip. So as this Earth Angel, you kind of carry this natural force. Anybody that lives in the attic, anybody that can kind of rent the room on the attic on the top level, there's a natural force that lives in them, and it comes off as a strength, right? And so, y'all, it's like everybody in the world has one bank account. You're only allowed to have one bank account. But the Earth Angels, the people in the attics, they have two. And so the energy that you carry is like an extra bank account. When things aren't working out, or when things are struggling for you in the physical world, you can tap into your extra bank account and make shit happen. You are an alchemist, right? You always have energy available for use, because all you need is energy. It doesn't matter the quality of the energy. You can make it what you need it to be, right? There's no energy that comes to you that you cannot make just, that you cannot balance, that you cannot make neutral. So the person that was courting you uses alchemy, right? They use alchemy, something about your energy, something, gender is here. So it could have been somebody of an opposite gender, or the fact that maybe something about gender, you will know. And so they use witchcraft. This is what alchemy is, in this sense, they used alchemy or occult secrets, occult knowledge, essentially people willing to learn the secrets of God in order to transform the situations in the way that they like them, right? And so these are people that are doing magic. These are people that are casting spells on you, but they're doing that because they want an energy that you possess. There's the currency of your vessel that has allowed you to live in the attic, or the currency of your vessel that has put you on the main floor. When you walk, or where you walk around, or you're in the company of the basement dwellers, trust that they know you. And see, these were a couple of kitten burglars who felt like you were their ticket to get to the higher level. You were their ticket to get to the next floor. Now, looking at the record of events, this specific person is attached to a group, is attached to a community. So the person that was courting you was really just one part of a large operation. And this person, or this group specifically, if you look at the chronological record of events, the way that they have masked people, it has been to deceive them. Why do you deceive people? Because I have the energy in the reading of Legba, right? And so when we're talking about Papa Legba, essentially you want the door to be open so that you can have access. And so Legba is the first deity, spirit, or Loa that you have to go to before you can access the others. And I'm talking in terms of voodoo. There are many spirits and Loas, but you don't get to each of them at the same time or in the same way. And so maybe this is a community that is familiar with voodoo. Maybe this is a community that does voodoo. But one of the ways that they get doors to open is by wearing masks, is by being deceptive. And so I'm not sure if it's literally just telling a lie, right? Because normally to get a door in the Legba energy in this reading, obstacles are removed, but they're removed by spoken word. And so, Earth Angel, if you are an obstacle, if their job or if their goal is to win the house, to win the benefits, win access, right? They went to win what you've been got. And in their mind, they're like, listen, sooner or later, luck comes to everybody. And so when you walk into someone's life, you look like luck. You look like a bag of money, right? And it's nothing aesthetic. I'm not talking about physically what people see. It is the energy of your vessel that cannot be hidden, right? When you walk into a room, it literally it's like attic dweller, right? You're the earth. You can't hide it. You can't control it. And so in order to win the house, right? In order to have stability or prosperity. Now, this actually can be a reading because I have house, winning house. This can be a reading where somebody wanted to win a house. They wanted to have a property. They wanted stability. Maybe they wanted to get out of the basement and move to the main floor of the attic. They just want a different experience on earth. And they felt like the only way to get the different, or the only way to get the experience I want, is to find somebody that's already living the experience. And then all I have to do is deceive them. I'll put on a mask. I'll wear as many masks as I have to wear. I'll say whatever I have to say to get them to open the door. Because as soon as they open the door, I win the house. Winning the house is essentially them winning the vessel, winning your bed, winning your life. So whatever space you have carved out in this hostel, the bed that you're renting, they want to sleep in your bed. And so whatever they have to do to cuddle with you and to spoon with you and to get you to let them in, they just want another experience. And so when people cross paths with you, you feel like money. You smell like the energy of you just feels like wealth. You are an experience that doesn't come often. You are an experience that does not come often. You cannot be hidden, especially when you've made it to the attic, because you know who you are, right? Nobody can convince you that you're any less or you're anything other than what you are. When you are on assignment with the Most High, do you understand how mentally strong you have to be? There will be many people who will come and want you to tweak or change or shift or stop or go fast or go. They will want you to do many different things differently, but an Earth Angel must answer their call and their call alone. If you didn't rent me this bed in this hostel, then I'm sorry, but I'm not able to accept guidance about my path. Now, yes, there will be messengers along the way, and your discernment, your ability to judge will know, are these people, places, and things sent to offer me things that I need for my path? Are they coming here because I have something to give them, right? Like, you will know, but a part of being an Earth Angel is recognizing that any courtship that comes to you, this is one that you always need to be prepared for, because you yourself, you may have to employ justice. You may have to balance this thing out, right? And so somebody comes to you thinking that you're a lick, and they, this was a group, but there was one person who thought that their balls were big enough to make this happen. Whoever the leader of this group is, fire them. Fire them now. Boo this man, right? Because we always know the house always wins. And so somebody thought that they could win a new house experience, a new earth experience, access to another floor, right? If they could overcome you. The way they would overcome you is by using alchemy. But as an earth angel, you possess an energy. You are a natural alchemist. And so when they start doing their alchemy, they start getting a little concerned. They start getting a little scared. Right now, they're unsure. They're doubting. They're worried because this isn't looking like how it's supposed to look like. Yeah, but you were really who you said you were. You had already answered your call. You already had that green buzzer that allowed you to live and experience the hostel from the third floor view. This is who you are. And so somebody wanted to trade. Let's talk about hypocrisy. You know, one of the ways that people deceive you is when they come into your life, they will be speaking as if they believe what you believe. They've lived what you've lived. They've walked through what they want to look like they too are carrying a green buzzer. Now, they spray painted theirs, and it's only a matter of time before those kitten paws are going to be green with spray paint, right? Because they thought that they could lie and deceive and mask up. So these are energies that are going to be very inconsistent, right? Because they don't have a stable way of being. They will have many masks. They will say something and then unsay something, right? Because they don't know who they are. They have nothing to stand on. They're really just, they're attempting to conquer their flesh every step of the way. Every step of the way. These are very carnal creatures. And so they can only see your energy from a way that's like, I gotta have it. I gotta buy it. Like, it's almost like, oh, you got that? I can get it. Right? They think it's something that you can buy. They think it's something you can they don't understand the gravity of the energy. They don't understand the gravity of energy, but also the Most High's energy and how it dwells in certain vessels in certain ways. But this is how people just you got to F around and find out sometimes, right? And so at some point they ran out of catnip, woke up and realized this was the worst plan that they could have ever have come up with. Why did they ever think that they could convince you, to give them access or to share your buzzer or to let them in your bed? Why did they think that they could follow you to the upper rooms of the hostel if they hadn't done the chores to earn it, if they hadn't put the work in to get there? In this reading, I have the energy of kindness. There's a difference between being nice and kind. Kind is kind of a choice. I feel like nice is a survival strategy. No matter what the situation is, you are always going to appear a certain way, right? But I really think it's about protecting yourself when you are nice. But being kind, that's being friendly, generous, and considerate, but it's because you understand who you are, but you also understand that everybody truly deserves that expression. Everybody deserves to be considered. Everybody has value. Everybody has worth. Now, you will not offer your kindness. My thing is, you have to offer your kindness. If I am not willing to be kind to you, then I'm not even willing to deal with you, right? And so being nice sometimes is offering grace to people that don't deserve it. And so somebody could have misread your kindness. Remember, this was a courtship, so it didn't have to be romantic. So your friendliness, maybe you were a giver, the way you share, it's your generosity, right? Something about you, the way you showed up made people think that maybe you were nice. And the reality is, no, I wasn't nice. I am kind. And you can only receive my kindness if I tolerate you. When I decide that you no longer fit into my world, I can't be kind to you because you literally won't exist. So recognize that this kindness is only promised if you're present, right? When you're removed, you will no longer be able to say I'm kind, because at that point, I will nothing you. It will literally be nothing, And so this community, this group who sends somebody in essentially to court you, right? This was a bright idea. This was something that they wanted to take action on. They thought that this was innovative. This is going to get us to the next level, right? We are inspired. We got to do this. This is the energy, right? And so the same idea that was supposed to take this community or this specific group to the top. Right now, I have the energy of nightmare, suffering, darkness, persecution. And so the problem is that kindness that you bestowed, that is what they misunderstood. They thought that your kindness meant that they can take action on the idea that they have had to level up, right? To win the house. They wanted to win the house. You, as an earth angel energy, you represent the house. Why? Because you are carrying the energy of the homeowner. You have made it to the attic, right? And so now you are doing the work of the homeowner. You're like a housekeeper, essentially, right? And so you can move all around the house. You can talk to a whole bunch of people. You can work in a whole bunch of realms in a whole bunch of different ways. And then you have the beauty of returning back to your attic in your beautiful energy. And you can imagine that people that you cross paths with on the main floor, on the karmic path, or on the path of persecution and judgment, when you walk into their space, sometimes they don't want you to get away. Sometimes they don't want to let you go. Sometimes they literally want to keep and possess you for themselves because they feel like you are their ticket to win the house. If I win you, then I know I can win the house. Right? And so there is some type of, this is a group that doesn't mind being cruel. This is a group that doesn't mind oppressing people, burdening people, right? They're hoping for a better situation, but whatever they have to do to get themselves to a better place, they are willing to do it, no matter how dark, no matter how dishonest. This is what this group represents. So the community that had the bright idea to take action against an earth angel right now are living in their own suffering, persecution. They are living a nightmare because they misunderstood your kindness as weakness. I am only kind to you as long as I allow you in my space. When I no longer have the ability to be kind, that is my cue that you need to go, right? Because I'm not going to mistreat you. I just feel away and I'm not able to deliver the kindness. So these are people these are like vessel snatchers. They see you and then they start deceiving. They start putting on the masks, right? Anything to win the house. Anything to win the house. You, as the earth angel, the attic dweller on earth, you represent the house. You are carrying the energy of the Most High, and it cannot be hidden. And when you get in the company of people, they want to keep you. They want to keep you for their own promotion. I had the energy of hypocrisy, right? To be a hypocrite, I think, is really like living hell. You know what I mean? When you're telling other people not to do certain things, but in private, when it's just you're doing these things. You know what I mean? When you have no integrity, when you behave a certain way or really want to behave a certain way, but you just don't have the skill set to do it. I mean, I can understand how this can cause people to become bitter, right? Really wanting to do something, but not having the courage, the strength, the ability to do it. You feel like the only way I can get there is if I meet somebody that's there. I mean, some people really can never see it for themselves. And so crossing paths with you, you're always going to look like the ticket. My son is snoring. If you can hear him, I'm sorry. You're always going to look like the ticket. Anytime you're on the main floor or in the basement, you're going to look like the ticket, right? And so people just want to ride. They just want to get back up to that attic with you any way they can, right? And these are people that are living in their own hell. These are hypocrites that don't know how to, so bad they want a life that looks one way, but they just don't know how to get there, right? But guess what? The same chores that all of us had to do to elevate, to ascend, to evolve, and to grow is how you move up to the different levels of the hostel. And so this is a reading about betting on the house, but somebody should have remembered that the house always wins. This was not a good bet, right? And the reason why you seemed like such a good gamble, right? This is somebody that risked it all. And they gambled and they used alchemy to win because they wanted a new beginning. They were tired of living a life that they felt just wasn't truly. This is somebody that, like, honestly just cannot conquer their flesh. It's like, yes, they know better. They can be sensible, because to put on a mask and to deceive you, you have to have knowledge of other ways of being. But you don't have the patterns of behavior. You don't have the habits in place. You haven't practiced those behaviors enough to make them routine, to make them become a part of who you are. Some people don't know how to do that. And so when you are disciplined and responsible and in control and sure of yourself, right? When you can own all of your quirks and and everything that makes you different, when you start to recognize that every difference is really a part of your gift, you own it and you walk around with your head held high. You're confident. You know that a lot of people are walking around here and they don't like that they're on the main floor. They don't like that they're in the basement. But what they're not understanding is that it's only for a period of time, right? The work that you do is what promotes you to a different energy. It takes you to a different frequency, takes you to a different reality, right? The work that you do and the work that you don't do has the ability to change the reality. It can change where you are allowed to rent your bed in this hostel that we call Earth. The basement dwellers were tired of living in the basement, wanted to live in the attic. You are the attic dweller. And so they felt like if they could deceive you, that you would be able to give them access, right? Just by being in communion, in company, in partnership with you, brings them a rapid change of fortune, right? All of the work you do is now going to support their existence. And so they wanted a new beginning. They wanted to hit the reset button. And you were the catalyst. You were the inspiration. You were the idea that they wanted to pursue and take action on. This was one person that was courting you, but this person was connected to an entire community. These people could have been bad health financially, and they wanted to start anew, right? They kind of wanted to do a clean sweep. So you were their lick. A bunch of kitten burglars thought that they could rob your house, essentially. They could take your energy or trick your energy into bringing them on board and giving them access. It's almost like just, if you have a cloak, anybody that is touching the cloak of the earth angel is safe and protected. And these are some stragglers. When it was midnight and you had to go back up to the attic, these are people that wanted to hang on to your cloak. They're like, please don't leave us in the basement. Please don't leave us down here anymore. You know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. But not recognizing that you are prepared for this stuff. You are ready at all times. All times. All right, y'all. Well, you've listened to me talk. You've listened to Easton snore. And so I hope that between the two of us, you could find some peace and some comfort in this reading. We love you. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.